Welcome to the new YouTube channel. If you haven't already done it, hit the subscribe button to follow us all season long for updates and content. So happy that you're here. It's going to be a great year. Welcome back to the Richard Sherman podcast. We have one of the best receivers in the National Football League, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Appreciate you joining me, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, you gotta explain to me how I feel. I mean, hey, living large in Detroit, just to be there for the culture change. How was that?
It's been a lot of fun. Getting here. When I got drafted, I didn't really know what to expect. Going to Detroit, I never watched any Detroit games. I probably knew like two players on the team when I got drafted, and I knew they were historically a bad team. I'm not gonna say I was super excited to come to Detroit. I wasn't. This is probably like the last team I wanted to go to when I was coming out of college. But being able to see the growth of everyone that's been here with Coach Campbell, Jared, Panay, the guys that I came with, almost all of us are still here. A lot of the coaches. It's been awesome to see, man. I'm just glad I was a part of it from the start. You know, some guys that got here last year and went to the NFC Championship, like Jameer, Laporta, that's all they know. They just be on a good team. But I was there when we were 3-13-1, terrible, and then kind of built it up. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you got it from the bottom. First off, Dad, like we always hear about the Ball brothers and their dad and all that stuff. But I want to talk about your pops because he had a vision. I respect a man with a vision.
Yeah.
Like he names y'all all after Egyptian gods, which I respect. I got a ton of respect for that. But it's the St. Brown, because I've heard a lot of rumors about this and I'd never get to ask you, and I got you here, so I'm going to ask you. How did the last name come about? Because I hear it wasn't his last name, but he felt like this is the right way to go.
Yeah, so his last name is Brown. So his name is John Brown. Just, regular old Brown. And when Equanimeous was first born, he was in they were in the hospital. He was about to be born. He got the birth certificate and everything. And he always wanted to change the last name to either Von Brown or St. Brown. He didn't like Brown by itself. He said it's a slave name, won't look good on the back of a jersey. So he always had this vision of having a different last name. So he was in before he was born, he was in the room and he decided it was Saint. And he didn't scratch anything out. He just added the ST in front of the Brown. And it's been that ever since. So we actually have a different last name than our dad's. Usually it's kind of different, but I'm glad he did it because I feel like if my name was just Amon-Ra Brown, that don't sound right to me.
No, it don't. Yeah. It don't. The names are clean, and just to have that kind of vision and foresight as a pops, I respect it. Like, how was it knowing that? Because I don't know a ton about how your pops raised you and all that, but I know he had to put y'all through it and work you out and train you and coach you. Did he coach you through Little League and Pop Warner?
Yeah, he was there. He was with us through everything, man. He at every practice, whether it's basketball, soccer, football. He never played really basketball. He never played soccer, but he was going to make sure he was at all the practices. And if he didn't learn it or understand the game, he was going to watch it, see what the coach is saying, pick it up, and then teach me once we get in the car and go home. So that's the kind of dad he was. He was tough on us, tough love, definitely. But I really appreciate it now being older, looking back on it. I feel like it made me a much better player at a young age, and it helped me understand the importance of hard work and discipline at a young age. So as I got older and I wasn't around him as much, it was easy for me to implement it into my own self. I mean, he didn't have to be around for me to understand what I got to do to, make something shake. So he implemented that into us, the hard work and the discipline. And man, I give all the credit to him to me being here today.
I appreciate it. I respect the hell out of that. And I know, coming out of SC, you were highly touted going into SC. You had a great high school career, illustrious. How disappointing was it to go fourth round? Because I went fifth round, so I went lower than you.
Yeah, you went lower than me. So
I understand.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best experience. You probably exactly how I felt. Just for me, because I feel like coming out for the draft, they were saying, you might go second, third round. That's kind of where we have you slotted. Maybe one or two teams have you going fourth round, but everyone else had me second or third round. So I had everything set up day two with, a bunch of family, basically like a little draft party. And that kind of got, it went to shit. It was terrible because you're just sitting there for a long, it's like, we were sitting there for like 4 hours because that second day is long. So we're there for like 4 hours and everyone is waiting to hear my name called. There's tension in the room. You can feel it. and I never heard my name called. But I feel like that all happened for a reason. I remember, having to send everyone home, telling them thank you for showing up. I'm sorry it didn't work out. And then the next day I showed up again. It was way less people, just my family and some few other friends. And I heard my name called pretty early that day. It was like 20 minutes into the draft. So that was nice. But going to bed that day it was tough, but it was definitely a night I'll never forget.
Bro, I'll never forget it. And it was exactly the same, except my parents, for some reason, we didn't have any money or anything, and they maxed out their credit cards to rent a room in Vegas. I told them, I don't know when I'm getting drafted. Like, it could be second round, it could be second day, it could be third day. It's not going to be first day. Yeah. So it was exactly the same. You got to, you know what I mean? I can't express like the embarrassment you feel. You know what I mean? Even though it's something out of your control.
It's crazy.
Like, you don't have anything, you know what I mean? I can't do anything but put on the tape that I already put on. Right. But you still feel like I let these people down, even though in reality you didn't let them down at all. But it put a fire in me that I don't know if anything else could have put that in me.
Right. Yeah, I think it definitely helped me that fire that you're talking about for sure. I feel like that got me going. I mean, I would say today, I don't know if it's the same fire of, me being drafted late, that same, motivation, but I still have, a list of the receivers and I read it every day before practice. But for me now, I'm chasing something else. I feel like as I get, more removed from the draft, I'm thinking about other things. And the draft is so far away, but I'll never forget the night.
No, and I mean, you get me for 120, I'll forget a lot of things too. Talk to me about that, because you've come a long way, and very, very incredible career. You've been incredibly productive, helped turn this whole organization around. You talk about y'all getting into the NFC Championship. You were a very huge, integral part of that, along with Jared Goff and Penei Sewell, and the pieces you guys have. Tell me how good it felt to write your name on that dotted line after all the hard work and dedication you put in.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I feel like, not the end of the road, definitely not the end of the road, but definitely a step that I've always wanted to take and always had in mind. Coming here as a rookie, I wasn't like, I want to sign this big deal. My whole thing was I want to get on the field, I want to make plays. Then once I got on the field, I was like, all right, I want to have so many yards. And once I had those yards, I was like, let's win some games. Now let's go try to get a Super Bowl. So for me, like my goals kind of evolve each and every year. And, right. To get the deal done was, I can't thank, there's so many people I can thank, my agent, my family, my people that support me, my coaches, my teammates, the whole, Lions organization. It was amazing. But like I said, it wasn't my goal coming into the league. Obviously everyone wants to get paid. That's why, that's why a lot of people play the game, but it wasn't like, oh, I want to get paid in 4 years. It was, let me see if I can make some plays. Once I start doing that, let me do this. And it kind of just worked out that way. And I actually signed my deal the day before the draft. So it was like a full circle moment. I got drafted almost 3 years ago before I signed the deal. So it was pretty cool.
TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, in for 6. Whatever you want to call a touchdown, one thing's for sure, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, from special teams or defense, we don't care how they score them. We just want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try something simple, like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your bet today. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Richard. That's code Richard for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, and you get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
It's football season, and you can now get almost anything you need delivered by Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense? That's a no. But a strong deodorant? That's a yes. A 6-pack of abs? Definitely no. But a 6-pack of beers? Uber Eats can get you that. There you have it. You can get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details. Tell me how your conversations was with your brothers. You know, I don't know how your relationship is with your brothers, but my brother called me immediately. He was sitting there on the stage with me. We sitting there cheersing with my dad that night. You know, it was just a really surreal moment because those are the guys that you talk about it with, you dream about it with, you grind through it with, and to not that this is the peak of the mountain, but just to kind of check another box off the goals and accomplishments. How was that?
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I remember, and I was in the car. This was like 2 days before the draft. So the draft was in Detroit, and I was out in Detroit doing some appearances and stuff that I had already, committed to months in advance. So I was going to be in Detroit either way. And I was out there, and my agent called me. I was in the car going somewhere to do an event or whatever. And he goes, I think we got a deal done. And so he runs me through the deal. He said, I think we should take this deal. I was like, let's do it. Sounds good. And so right after that, I texted my parents. I had a group chat with my parents and my two brothers. I said, the deal is done. 4 years, $120 million. They were like, my mom texted me right away. She was in Germany at the time. So I think it was like 1 a.m. where she was at, but she answered the phone. She texted right back. She actually called me, but I was busy doing something else. So I answered real quick. I said, hold on. And she would just tell me how proud she was. And that she can't believe it. And then my dad texted me that he's proud of me. My brothers texted me, and then it got leaked somehow on Twitter, and then my phone just started blowing up, and it was over from there.
Right. Yeah, then it's over with. It's over with. Have you got a chance to spend any time with your brother since the deal happened, or with your family? Obviously that day was so special, but do you get a chance to, like, you guys got any traditions? You guys meet up once a year or do anything like that?
Yeah, so I actually live with my brother, with Osiris. I live with him back in LA. So, we live together there, and then Equanimeous lives about 5 minutes from me in LA. So we're always together. Nice. We work out together. We do a lot of stuff together. And then my parents they live in Orange County, so it's like an hour away from LA. Right. So that's not far at all. They come and visit, eat dinner with us like once every 2 weeks. So we're together a lot. We actually went to Germany. I would say that was maybe a celebration. We all went to Germany this summer. We had a camp out there, which was super fun. But we spent a lot of time together as a family, kind of, just being able to spend time together, maybe not necessarily celebrate the contract, but just to be together, because you never know, life is too short to not spend time with your family.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about your Detroit Lions family and Ben Johnson being a big part of a lot of the success you guys had offensively. Him coming back was a big boom for you guys. How surprised were you that he returned?
Yeah, I was super surprised. I would say I was surprised the year before that when he returned. And so he returned, that was the NFC Championship year. So last year when he returned, I was like, damn, I can't believe he came back. I'm excited. Let's do it. Let's run it back. And then after last year, I had my head set. I was like, oh, he's gone. Like, I already, I was planning for it to get a new offensive coordinator, learn new plays. And I found out he was staying again. I was like, oh my God, let's keep it rolling, man. Just keep staying every year. He's one of the best, I think. I've only had 2 offensive coordinators in this league, but to see the stuff that, the plays that he designs, watching other teams play, how we do things. Granted, we do have good players, but he puts us in positions to win more times than not. And man, his work ethic, I think, is unmatched as a coach.
Talk to me about Jameson Williams, because he seems like it's got a really cool story. Obviously he was banged up coming in. They still drafted him. He had some big plays last year in the NFC Championship. I remember him getting the reverse early and scoring a touchdown. But this year it just seems like he's finally showing the promise that he showed in college. And, obviously as a number 1 receiver yourself, just got paid. It takes some of the stress off of you. You know what I mean? It takes some of the heat off you, take some of the double teams, some of the brackets off of you. Tell me about how you've helped his development and what he's been able to do the last couple of years.
Yeah, Jim was in a beast, man. You guys can see it. Finally, I feel like it's been a couple years. Took a couple years to finally for him to get going, but he's had some hiccups along the way with the injury, like you said. Last year, they caught him for gambling, so he missed a few games. So this is finally the first year we had a full OTAs, full training camp under his belt. No setbacks, no injuries, and now he's able to really showcase what he can really do. And he's fast as hell, man. He can run. I think teams know that going into the game, but it's different when you see it on tape and then you're actually out there running. So, we have plays for him up every week of going deep, and everyone knows it. It's not a secret, but you got to stop it. But he's been playing great for us in the last 2 games. He had 120-something yards the first game. Last game, the second drive, I think was the first play. We threw a pick on the first play. We come back, first play out, we throw a bomb to Jameson, 50 yards. So him opening up being able to open up plays for guys like me under that, catch more balls underneath is super, it's important, I think, for an offense to have different levels like that. You got a guy, you can't account for everyone. You got me, J-Mo, Demo, Laporta, Jameer, Khalid. We got so many weapons that's like, if you want to double me, all right, good luck one-on-one with J-Mo, Laporta, whoever else. You want to put a safety over top, help with J-Mo, there might be some more room underneath. So it's tough. It's tough to play us, and I think, us having a bunch of different, weapons and gadgets like that on our team, it creates, matchup nightmares for defenses.
How was it when Jared was traded? Like when that news hit, I'm sure you did. I don't know how much you knew about him before he got to Detroit, but I mean, he could play. Yeah. He could play. And I think, he got the short end of the stick early on. He didn't have a good head coach with the Rams. He was in a tough division, and then he got a good head coach with Sean, and then they went to the Super Bowl. Things didn't work out well, but he played at a high level for a long time. So what were you thinking about him, and what do you think about him now as he's been your teammate and helped you to a huge contract and help this offense be one of the top in the NFL?
Yeah, I think he's one of the best in the league at what he does. I might be biased, but when I first got to Detroit, I knew he was a quarterback. I knew he was traded, obviously. I knew Stafford wasn't there anymore, but I didn't really, know too much about him except for what I saw on TV. I knew he, was a quarterback for the Rams prior. They went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Patriots, stuff like that, but I didn't know anything about him as a human being. Not too much of him as a player. I mean, like I said, I saw the games on TV, but it's kind of hard to know when you're actually, TV versus in person. So, my rookie year, like I said, I wasn't really worried about Jared. I was like, let me just see what I can do to help the team win. If he throws me a ball, I got to catch it. I got to make all the plays. And then kind of as the years have gone on, we built a kind of chemistry relationship. He's one of the best dudes that I've been around. Great teammate, great leader. I think obviously everyone knows he's accurate and whatnot, but I think his ability to stay calm throughout games is really what to me as a player, I haven't seen too many players do. Like whether he's throwing a touchdown or interception, he's always, for the most part, he's even keel, he's level headed. I think that's important for a quarterback because you're making a decision out there. A lot of the pressure is on the quarterback to make the right reads, getting the right protection, whatever it is. And he's looked so calm doing it. So I really, I commend him for that because I feel like it calms us down as players in the offense. When you're in the huddle, when he's calm, everyone else is calm and can do their job. So it's been awesome, to play for him. I'm excited to play for him for the next 4 or 5 years, whatever it is.
This city of Detroit has been thirsting for success. Obviously, I'm sure they've told you many times about the lack of playoff success, the lack of playoff appearances. So to have such an amazing run last year, all the way to the NFC Championship, the furthest that Detroit has been in a long time, or ever, I believe. How was the city and how has it been since then? Because, I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like the energy is incredible. The fans are super behind you guys. The city has just woken up and really embraced this team and elevated, and they're showing up in big ways. But how have you seen it from a player's perspective?
The fans, man, I think they're the best. I think they're the best in the world, obviously. So I went to USC. I've been in California my whole life. There's so much to do in California. I don't know what the fans, if the team's not winning, man, they're going to go to the beach. They're going to go to Hollywood. They're going to go, do something else, go to Santa Monica. If you're not winning. If you're winning, yeah, they might show up still. They might not. Right. In Detroit, they're showing up win, lose, or draw. They're at every game. And, since my rookie year, they've been it's been packed every game. But I can tell that it's only grown since we started winning. The fans, man, the energy that they bring it's infectious. I feel like for us as players, home games, they're loud. I feel like we might have one of the loudest stadiums in the league now. I don't know. I know Chiefs are loud. There's some other loud ones, but I feel like we might be up there. You got to ask the players that play against us. I don't know. But I feel like we're up there, man. But the fans of Detroit, like I'll go out to eat sometimes and people will come up to me and be like, I just want to say thank you for, bringing life to the city. Like, we just want to thank you for what you guys have done. And to me, it's like I feel like in LA or in California, I would never get that. Like, there's so much to do. No fans coming up to me talking about thank you for what you're doing for the city. Like here, it's like they live and breathe and die for football. And so I'm glad that we're able to bring that joy to these fans because they deserve it. They've stuck with us for so long. But we want to bring them more because they deserve it. So we gotta keep going.
No question, no question. I mean, are you gonna dye your hair back blue?
I think so.
It seemed like that worked
for the playoffs. I think I might have to do it.
You kind of have to. It's tradition at this point. I love that. I love that. Well, who in this league, you see some very talented receivers, but who's the toughest corner out there? Because you got some pretty good ones in your division. Jair, Jalen. I think Byron is pretty good corner, but who you think is the toughest corner that you've seen in this football league?
That's a good question. Toughest corner. A guy that I really like is Patrick Surtain. He's one of my favorite.
That boy smooth.
I think he's patient at the line, can run, got size, is smart, can make a play on the ball. I think he has it all. So he's definitely one of my favorite DBs in this league.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's the best. I like Sauce and what he's done. But Surtain is just so complete. I mean, you look at him press, you look at him off, you look at him in chaotic situations. He does not care. He's following the best receiver. He's jogging around. No matter what the route is, he's competitive. He's always tight in his coverage. I mean, it's hard to find a clip where you're like, that was a rough rep.
Man, he's
not
sticky.
With him.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's sticky. Yeah. What about receivers? Obviously you guys were in a competition of who's going to be the highest paid this year, and somehow the receiver market has boomed in a way that I never saw. I never saw it coming. I can't imagine I ever thought the receiver market would be bigger than the tackle market in this sport, but it is. It is right now. I mean, y'all are at 35 million, and whatever Jamar gets, it pushes it higher.
Yeah.
What do you think has led to that? Because it's been over the last couple of years because it wasn't always this way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, cap has gone up. Obviously, that's big. But for us as players, get more money available to pay the players. But I think receivers is such a growing position. I think we become even more important as the years have gone on. I think there's so much more that goes into than just football. Obviously, you got football and us making plays, but you got jersey sales, you got fantasy football. There's so much that goes into receiver, the stardom, and I feel like one player gets paid this, the next guy's always going to get a little more. The next guy's going to get a little more. So you just keep upping and upping and upping, and then at some point you're at 35 million now. So the next guy might get 36, and then in 2 years from now you might have 37, 38. And I think there's so many good receivers in this league now. If you asked me to name a top 5, I couldn't name it. I can give you a top 15, top 20 because I feel like each team has a dominant receiver or to be soon dominant receiver. So it's a passing league. It's the game is so offensive. They want offense to score as many points as possible. So that's
at least
right. That's talking about the way the game's going. You can't touch us. You can't grab us. All the rules are for us. We love it. We're not complaining, but it's an offensive.
We are all the time.
We know you guys are, but it's awesome to see, man. I'm glad guys are getting paid because they deserve it.
Did that have any influence on you doing the receiver documentary, and have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. No, and not really. They actually came up to me. This was right before our first game last year against the Chiefs. They asked if I wanted to do it. I said, yeah, I'm down. I'm down to do it. Just let me talk to Coach Campbell and see if get his permission first, because I know Campbell's around on the team. I don't want to be a distraction to my teammates. And he said it's all good. You can do it as long as you're not a distraction. And so they were super, super easy. They only came to, film one practice a week, Wednesday practice. They always mic'd up for every game. And outside of the facility, they probably recorded me like 6 or 7 times on things that were like things that I do regularly, not like, oh, we want you to go do this. It's like, hey, I go get dinners on Fridays. Okay, can we come be a fly on the wall and record that? Sure, let's do it. So it was super easy, super, non-invasive. And I'm glad I did it because, looking back in 10 years, I can look back on it with my kids, whoever, show them that. And it was a lot of fun. We went far in the playoffs. It was a good season. So
it ended up working out beautifully. Yeah. You got, how many kids you got?
How many kids do I have?
Mm-hmm.
0.
Okay. All right. That's it.
To come soon.
Take your time.
One day.
Take your time. Take your time. Keep practicing.
Right.
keep practicing. You'll get it one day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know it's your off day, brother, and I know you could be anywhere in the world. I appreciate you taking the time with me. A big fan of your game. If you got any questions for me, obviously I play DB, so I'm here to complain about all the rules and everything and say the game needs to change. Back in my day, kind of ordeal. But I appreciate
it, man. Thank you.
All love.